So this is my final video log of the Global Competency Project, and I learned a lot. I think it was a lot of fun. I definitely enjoyed the new experiences that I had, and maybe I'll try out more Chinese food, maybe I'll meet some more people on my floor, or maybe I'll just take what I learned from this project. I'm not really sure, but it was fun to do. So, first up, my new thoughts about others. I mean, it wasn't anything overwhelming and brand new ideas, but I kind of realized that people are welcoming. They're in need of a smile, and they're willing to open up and talk to you, and they're not going to bite. They're not afraid of you. They're not judging you necessarily as much as we think. I think a lot of times we work ourselves up to think that something's going to be worse than it is. And I learned that other people are the same way. They like to stay in their comfort zone. They like to do the things they're comfortable with doing. And if you just step out of your comfort zone, they're generally going to be pretty welcoming to you. That was the experience that I had with everyone that I talked to. They were all friendly and kind, and it might have been a little awkward at first, but it's not awkward if you don't make it awkward. It's not awkward if you just be yourself and let them be themselves, and it can be really fun and it can be really cool. Something else I learned about other people was kind of the reactions that I got from the rest of the class. I mean, we realized that we were all nervous about doing this project. We were all nervous about knocking on someone new's door or riding the bus. And I realized that we're all kind of similar in that class. And that was cool that we all kind of had to go through it together. And we all kind of had the same reactions too, like, oh, this was awkward, but it ended up being really cool. So, yeah, I definitely learned that I really like our class, and that we're all a lot alike, and that there's some really great people. And by all of us stepping out of our comfort zone, I can see that one day it's going to make good teachers. You have to do it. Alright, so for part 2, my new thoughts about myself, I think that's a little easier for me to come up with because, I don't know, it's easier to analyze the way that I feel rather than to exactly know where other people are coming from. But what I realized when I was asked to step out of my comfort zone was that, the actual stepping out of my comfort zone was more of finding an activity and getting myself to go and show up to it than to actually engage while I was there. Because, for example, the Chinese food night, I was nervous about going. I had to walk all the way over to Acres in the rain, and I didn't know anyone, so I was walking in the door all by myself, and that was honestly the worst part, because once I got in there, I was in, and I found someone to talk to. I had some really delicious food, and yeah, I'm a people person, so I realized that stepping out of my comfort zone for me, I really need to look for new things, and then when I see the poster or when I see the Facebook event, then I should really make myself go and do it, because now I know that I'll have fun and I know that I'll enjoy it, but yeah, I realized that I need to force myself to get out there, because once I'm out there, I really enjoy it, and I really enjoy meeting new people, and I don't think I'm hard to talk to, and I think that can be fun when you just meet someone new, and you can really learn a lot and find a lot of new things to appreciate, which is something else that I learned about myself, was that as much as I say that I love to travel and I say that I love to meet new people, or the different things that I've done and been a part of, I realize there's still so much more that I don't know, and that I don't yet appreciate because I don't really understand. Like when I went to dinner with Gloria from China, she was telling me about all sorts of things, like the food and the holidays and different things that they celebrate and that they do, and just little things about the culture that I have maybe read about in a book or I've heard about on the news, but to actually talk to someone who experiences it and who lives it is so fun. And I realize that I have so many more people that I need to talk to actually become global and become multicultural and to learn. I really like it, but I realize that I'm pretty sheltered. I'm from Midland, a small town in Michigan, and I went to Michigan State, which is an hour and a half away from home. And I mean, coming to college is a big step, but there's a lot bigger steps to make, I think, in my life. And for the last part, implications for teaching from a global perspective. I think that what we need to understand as teachers, what I need to understand especially, is that students come from all sorts of different backgrounds. And they aren't going to come from the kind of home that I came from or have the appreciation of school that I have. They might really value it a lot more than I did, and they might not really care as much as I did. Everyone's different, depending on their culture, but also depending on the person. I mean, in my high school, you could find someone who was extremely driven. There was a kid who went to John Hopkins for neuroscience, and there was people that school wasn't their thing, and they didn't really want to be there, and they pursued different career paths. And as a teacher, you have to incorporate all of that into one classroom, which I think is really cool because you're creating a small community within a bigger community, and you really need to understand the society that you are teaching in, and you also really need to understand the community and the individual families. There's so many components to creating the environment that you want, the positive, fun learning environment for kids to really be themselves, and you want everyone to feel comfortable being themselves. And as a teacher, I'm going to need to be the one to step out and say, hey, why don't you tell us about your really cool holiday that you have coming up? Or, I realize that it seems like you're having some trouble making friends here. What can I do to help? As a teacher, that's my job. And I need to get more comfortable stepping out of my comfort zone in order to help my students realize that, yeah, hey, they should step out of their comfort zone because they can learn some really cool things and have a lot of fun. And something else that I learned more about my teaching rather than about like the classroom environment. As elementary school, I think it's really important to have your classroom be a safe place. But as a teacher, with my curriculum and my lesson plans, Dr. Nasser said something that really stuck with me, where he said that in order to learn something new, you can't forget everything you already know, which was really cool. He was talking about learning science as a person who practices Islam, and how, for example, a lot of times, the creation theory and evolution there's always a big discussion about that, with Christians and with scientists who maybe don't agree. And I think that the important thing is, as a teacher, I need to love science, but I also need to realize that my students probably go to church, and that I can't teach something that totally contradicts what they already know and expect them to learn and appreciate it. And I should be able to get to know them and build on their knowledge and their culture. And my job is to help them fit the ideas together rather than to ask them to separate them. And I should really help them become a more knowledgeable person rather than just be able to memorize and repeat a bunch of facts. And that's what a good global teacher is. And I need to be able to do that with whatever students I have. I don't know where I want to teach. I don't really know what I want to do. Maybe I want to travel. Maybe I'll stay here. Maybe I'll teach in a wealthy district where I need to really be a support system for kids whose parents have sent them away. Or maybe I need to if I'm teaching in a district of a race different than me, maybe I need to engage in that and learn about a new culture that I'm a minority in. So I think that stepping out of your comfort zone is something that you will have to do as a teacher and as a global citizen. And this project definitely helped me learn some new things about that. And it was a lot of fun at the same time.